Well, hello there. It's time to talk about persimmons. Now, persimmons on their own are probably not rare enough to warrant an episode, but I have a few different varieties today. I have, first of all, two khaki persimmons. These are from the same species, however, there are two different varieties of khaki persimmons. This is a Hachia persimmon, and this is a Ffuge persimmon. These ones are commercially available. You can get these pretty easily at most supermarkets. However, this one I see more often. This one I've had several times before. The Ffuge persimmon is a little bit more prevalent. The Hachia, I see it, but it's usually a little less easy to find, and it's a little more expensive, at least here in New York City. This is an astringent variety, and this is a non-astringent variety. So if you were to eat this when it's still firm, it will give you terrible dry mouth, among other things. This one, as you can see, it is super squishy, like an overripe tomato. You should be able to just rip into it. In this one, this is actually pretty ripe. I wanted to get them around the same ripeness, but this one you can eat when it's still firm. They're not completely devoid of astringency. If you were to eat this before it turns orange, like if it's still a little bit green or not like a bright color yet, like a little too yellow, not orange enough, it will still give you dry mouth. Here's a fun little tidbit about persimmons. If you eat the astringent variety in a large quantity, it can form a bezoar in your stomach. And a bezoar is basically like a clod of some kind of material. This would cause what is known as a phytobezoar, which is made out of plant material. Some cultures believe that bezoars are actually lucky, like they are a magic charm. So you can eat like a whole bunch of astringent persimmons and get your own lucky stone inside your stomach and be just like the luckiest person alive. Or you cannot eat astringent fruit and not have horrible abdominal pain and not probably have to get risky stomach surgery to remove said bezoar. Weigh the options. I've been reading online that some people think that the cap here, if you pull at this and it comes off easily, that means that it's ripe, and that's how you can tell. I'm not sure if that's really a good indicator, because this one is not coming off very easily. However, it is squishy as all get out. I'd say feeling it is probably better, but yeah, like a little bit of pulling and it does rip off. So I don't know. I wouldn't use that as a gauge. So let's cut this bad boy open. Alright. Yeah, that is sexy. Look at that juicy persimmon. The Ffuge persimmon is not going to be quite so juicy, I don't think, but yeah, there you go. Even though this one, I'd say that these are very similar ripeness, these are still going to be a little bit firmer. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Hachia persimmon. That is really good. I'm not going to talk about the flavor just yet. I want to try this one to just kind of like compare them. The Hachia has a lot more flavor, and the flavor, it's difficult to describe. It's very sweet. It tastes like sugar or cotton candy, not sour at all. Kind of mellow tasting. It's maybe a little bit like sweet potato. It doesn't have like a starchy taste the way a potato does, and it doesn't have like a nutty or earthy taste the way a potato does. It's just kind of like a light kind of flavor to it. They taste very similar. I would say the Hachia, like a perfectly ripened Hachia, is going to be a little bit more pleasant to eat flavor-wise. These are a little bit more convenient to eat. You don't have to worry about ripening them. You don't have to worry about it getting as messy. because they're not quite as succulent, at least not this one. But they're good. They're good. They just have like a little bit less flavor. You can eat the skins. Skins are good. I like cutting these up and just eating wedges of it, or biting into it like an apple. The one plus side, however, to the Ffuge is that if you don't let this get all squishy and you eat it, it's got a nice texture. It's like soft and like firm at the same time, and yeah, it's got a nice texture to it if you eat it when it's like a little firmer. And if you're gonna wait until they're both like super squishy and ripe, like I have, I would give this one extra points for having more flavor. This one, not so much. So they have their pros and their cons. If you want something right away, and these are available but not soft, I would go with the Ffuge. If you have some time, pick this up, and it'll give you a better flavor. So yeah, I think persimmons are really good, and they're kind of like an overlooked fruit. They're something that you can get in the supermarkets pretty easily. I've seen these all over the country, all over the world. I've been seeing persimmons, but in the US at least, it's something that people kind of like glance at and don't think anything of it. Like they won't pick it up, maybe thinking it's like a tomato or something, some weird tomato. But they're good. They're worth picking up. They're very unique. If you go to a supermarket, there's really nothing quite like it there. So I'd say give it a try if you haven't had it. Now, coming up next, I have the American persimmon, which I tried in Iowa a while back, and this is something that would be considered an astringent variety. They are very astringent, and they're very small, so hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to Destin from the channel Smarter Every Day. Smarter Every Day is a pretty popular YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, it's about this guy. He travels around in the pursuit of science. So, you know, if you like what I do with fruit, he's kind of doing it with everything else. So, you know, check out his channel if you haven't seen it already, because it's really, really cool. I'm already hooked on it. He contributed to my Patreon page in order to help me out a little bit for the next few months. So if you want to help out too and make my series grow even bigger, just click on this screen or go to the description below and click on the links to go to my Patreon page where you can find out more. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.